He left his house at 10:45 a.m. for an 8-block walk he knew by heart. He never arrived, and 25 years later, no one has any idea what happened to him in between. There are only two ways someone disappears. Either they planned it, or something stopped them. People do not vanish in the middle of the day, in their own neighborhood or on a short walk. But Jason Jolkowski did. He left his house on 48th and Pinkney Street in Omaha, Nebraska, to walk 8 blocks to Benson High School. A coworker named Teresa was waiting there to give him a ride to Fazoli's, where he worked. He knew the route by heart. He had walked it before. But somewhere between his front door and that school parking lot, he stepped into a gap and never came out. Whatever happened was fast and clean. No one saw a thing. Jason Jolkowski was born in Grand Island, Nebraska, to James and Kelly Jolkowski. He dreamed of becoming a DJ and worked at a local radio station under the name JJ the DJ. He had a learning disability, which meant he processed information more slowly than others, especially in chaotic situations. But he never let that hold him back. He could recite sports statistics from memory with stunning accuracy. Friends and family described him as quiet, responsible, and unfailingly kind. He dropped out of college due to financial problems and was saving money working at Fazoli's. His life was not perfect, but he had a plan. He had direction. He had people who loved him. The phone rang at the Jolkowski house around 10:30 a.m. It was Fazoli's asking if Jason wanted to work an extra shift. He said yes, without hesitation. His car was in the shop, so he arranged for a coworker named Teresa to pick him up at Benson High School. The school was only 8 blocks from his home. He told his parents the plan. His mother, Kelly, felt relieved he would not have to walk 4 miles to the restaurant. Jason walked out the front door at approximately 10:45 a.m. He pulled the garbage bins in from the curb. A small, normal action. He wore his work shirt and had less than $100 on him. He did not pack a bag. The walk from Jason's house to Benson High School should have taken 15 to 20 minutes at most. The route was familiar. It was lined with houses and quiet streets. Teresa arrived at the school parking lot around 11 a.m. She waited. 5 minutes passed, then 10, then 20. By 11:45 a.m., nearly a full hour after Jason had left home, he still had not appeared. Teresa grew confused and concerned. Jason was not the type to be late without calling. He was responsible, reliable, so she did the only thing she could think of. She called the Jolkowski house. Jason's younger brother Michael answered. He confirmed that Jason had left right after the call from Fazoli's. Jason had walked out. But he never walked in. Teresa waited a few more minutes after her phone call. Still, no Jason. She finally left the school parking lot and drove to Fazoli's alone. She told her manager that Jason had not shown up. Hours passed. The afternoon came and went. Evening arrived. Jason did not come home. He did not call his parents. He did not call his workplace. He simply vanished from every form of contact. By the next morning, his parents were deeply afraid. But Jason was 20 years old, an adult. The police told them they had to wait 24 hours before filing a missing person report. They waited. They filed the report. And then they received devastating news. The police assumed Jason had run away. They did not launch a search. Jason's mother, Kelly, sat by the phone every single day. She did not move from her spot near the front door. She felt numb. She later said she would not feel okay again until she saw Jason in the flesh. But the Omaha police did not act. For 10 full days, Jason's case sat untouched. The assumption was that a young man had chosen to leave his life behind, but that made no sense. Jason was about to start a new job with a tuition program that would allow him to return to college. He had left his car, his paychecks, and all his clothes. He had almost no money. He loved his family too much to disappear on purpose. Finally, on June 23rd, the police began to search. On June 23, 2001, the Omaha police launched a full-scale search. They used horses to cover open ground. They sent officers on foot through nearby wooded areas. They deployed aerial searches with infrared technology. They explored Mahoney State Park after a tip suggested Jason had gone there. They revisited the 8-block route he had walked. They found nothing, no clothing, no blood, no body, no evidence of any kind. Police also reviewed surveillance footage from Benson High School. The camera showed the parking lot where Teresa had waited. Jason never appeared. But Teresa did. She arrived on time. She waited. She looked confused. She left alone. She was cleared of any involvement. The conclusion was unavoidable. Something had happened to Jason on that short walk in broad daylight. June 24, 2001, was supposed to be Jason Jolkowski's 20th birthday. Instead of cake and family dinner, there was only silence. The church where Jason volunteered nearly every day tied yellow ribbons around trees and posts in his memory. Posters with his face were plastered all over the Benson neighborhood. Friends and strangers prayed for his return. But as the days turned into weeks, hope began to fade. The police eventually reclassified his case. They no longer believed Jason had run away. They officially labeled his disappearance a homicide. They believed someone had taken him. Someone had killed him. But they had no suspects, no person of interest, no body. 25 years later, that remains true. Jason's family still does not have answers. 3 main theories have emerged over the years. The first, that Jason ran away, is almost universally dismissed. He had no car, no money, no packed bag, and no reason to leave. The second theory suggests a hit-and-run followed by body disposal, but no one heard a crash in broad daylight. No blood or debris was found. The third theory is the one police believe. Jason was abducted. He was known to be trusting and helpful. Someone may have lured him into a car or a house. Once inside, he would have been vulnerable. He was a big guy, but no one can defend against an attack they do not see coming. The neighborhood had offenders living nearby. Jason's kindness may have been the very thing that cost him his life. Jason Jolkowski has never been found, but his family refused to let his name be forgotten. Kelly and James Jolkowski founded Project Jason, an organization that helps families of missing persons navigate the nightmare of disappearance. They built missingjason.com when the internet was still new. In 2005, their efforts led to Jason's Law in Nebraska. That law created a statewide database for missing people, something the state did not have before. In 2010, Kelly received the Volunteer for Victims Award from U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder. She has helped countless other families survive the same waiting, the same phone calls, the same silence. Jason may not have come home, but his family has turned his tragedy into something that still saves lives today.